Hello and welcome to the new episode of Couch Therapy. Today on the chopping block is Ghost in the Shell, the live action remake of the classic anime film that was released in 1994. When I saw that this got announced in 2013, my heart soared like an eagle. I absolutely love the original, and to see it given this treatment in a live action film makes me so happy because amazing things can be done taken from the original source material. Now, I'm going to talk about today, why do you need to see it? Why do you need to see Ghost in the Shell? I'm going to address that through a number of different angles, and it makes sense to start as you would at the beginning, which is the title of the film. Now, I would say that the whole thing is a meditation on identity, individuality, your soul, what makes me me, what makes you you. You can see it right away as well in the title of the film. If you hadn't noticed already, ghost is a symbol for all those things I just said in relation to your identity, like your soul, your ghost. And then shell is the vessel which carries around the ghost. Your body, whatever it is that automates the ghost. Ghost in the Shell. Beautiful, simple title, says all it needs to say. And embodies, as I say, that whole theme, the core of the whole movie. Now, great place to start. The reason that I like it, and the reason as well where I find the central controversy following this film is somewhat ridiculous. Now, the big issue that has dogged this film is whitewashing, and I would say for so many other stories and in so many other places in Hollywood, this would make a lot more sense, and it absolutely is. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and it's a conversation worth having, but in the context of this film, it's both ironic and funny, and as a third, shows me that people, when they talk about this critically and they criticize Scarlett Johansson for being in the role and as white, have not given much thought to the plot line that exists within this and what the original storyteller was trying to convey, what ideas were important to him. Why do I say that? Well, the character of the Major, although ostensibly appears as a human being, is a robot. It's only because the film was originally made in Japan, they made it as a Japanese woman that looked like that. But even they understood when they made it that it wasn't so much that she was a Japanese woman, it's that she's a robot. And this is the central core issue of the character. You even hear in the trailer how Scarlett Johansson comments on the fact that people are connected to something, and she doesn't so much feel that connection. So the color of the skin of this character is pointless. It's the struggle of the ghost that inhabits the vessel, no matter what shape that it is, that truly matters. And so to make whether this is a good film or not based on this issue of whitewashing is ridiculous, with a little further thought. Okay, on to the next idea. Another good reason to go see this, if you can look past this. Idioms are useful to us. Idioms being those useful phrases that you can say to apply to a situation. For example, never judge a book by its cover, or the movie is never as good as the book. The problem with idioms is that oftentimes they're used as a replacement for actually thinking about something. You don't want to have a conversation, you don't want to back up any of your opinions or beliefs, and so you say a very agreeable idiom, which then can discount hours of conversation or debate. And in the case of films, or the potentially good film that could be made of Ghost in the Shell, people will say, oh, well, it will never match up to the original. This idea like the book will always be better than the movie that then follows, or that a remake of a movie will never be so good, or the sequel. I can name 3 books right away. Blade Runner, I can name movies taken from books. Bram Stoker's Dracula, Blade Runner, and Children of Men. I've read all 3 books, so I'm not just talking out of my ass. The books are amazing, and the movies stand alone as incredible, towering cinematic achievements. So we know that we have evidence, if you make more effort than dropping an idiom, that you can trust, in some cases, a movie that is made to honor whatever came before it can be equally as good, and perhaps most importantly, its own entity. When I say that those 3 different movies that I mentioned were as good as the books, no, they did not follow them exactly, nor would you want them to. They were their own thing, but they had incredible source material, and the creative group that went to create something new, did an incredible job and justice to both. I would say that as well. That's the next thing I would talk about, is how a lot of people would say, oh, you don't want to see it because the original, they can never, if they do copy it, it won't be the same. Well, it wouldn't be the same, like I say, and you wouldn't want it to be. There has to be some sort of separation between the old and the new for us to approach the ideas presented in a different way, that we might have some new revelation regarding the material. And that's something I can say, actually, for once, talking about the specific details within the trailer that I've seen so far. And that was, in the first scene within the film, it's the Major falling off of the building to go and interrupt this sort of meeting that's going on. And as much as it progresses the plot in the original anime, the actual scene is quite bland and not stylistic beyond the Major falling down the front of the building. In this new iteration, this room where they're having the meeting in, and there's all these robots that are serving them, it's drenched in incredible style, atmosphere, and edginess. It looks totally original, while at the same time being taken from something old, which is an incredible accomplishment. So it should not be the old entirely, and as far as I can see from what they're doing with the new, they're doing a fantastic job. Next, another reason. You can't make an opinion of something without having experienced it at all. Where it's amazing how many people seeing either the 3-second clips that came out originally, or now even the trailer, have such strong opinions regarding it, whereas as though they had seen it already. My point is, you can't have an opinion of something unless you've experienced it firsthand, which brings me to the final point. Why do you need to go and see this movie? Why do you need to see Ghost in the Shell? To decide for yourself, for you personally, whether it's good or not. You don't want me, you don't want a message board, you don't want a comment section to tell you whether or not this movie is good. And you have an incredible opportunity in this movie, in that the whole story arc is about possessing your identity and the importance of making your own personal decisions. So don't let somebody else sway you whether or not you should go. You think about it, you decide, and check it out. And I think you'll have the happy coincidence that it's actually going to be awesome. Alright, so if you enjoy videos like this, please do like, subscribe, share, stick around for some more. Check out my ebook if you'd like. I'll post that up in the side, and I would have at some point in this video put the my social media down below if you want to follow me on any of those, get in contact with me in any way. I really enjoyed making this. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will catch you guys and gals in the next one. Peace.